NBA Straya, how are you going? Hey, good? You should be. 2 reasons. 3, in fact. Number 1, it's Friday. TGIF, am I right? Number 2, it's officially Australia Day, May 8. On you, mate. And number 3, it's our 1400th bloody episode of NBA Straya. 1400 is such a stupidly large number of me just yelling into a microphone. But yes, here we are. 1400 episodes of NBA Straya on Australia Day, and it's a Friday. I'm just going to have to crack a tin just to get stuck into this, right? It's pretty bloody good. So, anyway, I am your host, James Clements, here in Larry Armour Studios. This is the 1400th episode of NBA Straya. And of course, I say that knowing that there's probably an extra 20 plus episodes that I just didn't number. A lot of those best and worst of the day episodes that were sort of the shorter ones, but never ended up being that short. I don't know if I put them in the official tally, but anyway, whatever. I'm going to say 1400 and you're going to have to deal with that. It's my show. Anyway, what do we do today, Jim? Well, we had 2 more game 2s. 2 more game 2s. Each one more 2-ier than the last, I guess. Cavs, Pistons, Lakers, Thunder. We've got a little bit of news. We'll wrap up the games. We've got That's Not an iPhone, mate. No, mate. Spud of the night. Bet on Lonzo Ball. We got some nice. Got the Unpopular Opinion of the day. Outback Takehouse. We've got an Andrew Gay's Great MAMBA Award. We've got a Shane Hill Shoot Award. And we'll pick and preview all of the games for you over the weekend. Saturday and Sunday game 3s. That'll be fun. At least it bloody well better be, I reckon. So, can you believe it? 1400 episodes. That's absurd. If I was more organised, I would have gotten a guest, but I was so hungover today, I'm like, I don't want to deal with this. So, you're just stuck with me. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Episode 1400 of NBA Straya. That's still pretty good. Let's go!
This is Josh Giddey.
G'day, this is Andrew Gay.
This is Jack White.
This is Joe Ingles.
This is Darcy Daniels.
This is Chris Anstey.
This is Matthew Delvedova.
This is Shane Hill.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening and watching NBA Straya.
This is NBA Australia. Let's do it.
Watch out for the Shaq attack.
You better watch out for the Draymond Green attack if you're Charles Barkley. I've got some thoughts on that brouhaha. Jesus. Anyway, we can also get into the daily whip round, but I mean, just quickly off the top, 1400 episodes. If you've been listening to NBA Straya since the start, I love your guts. I've been listening for however long. I still love your guts. If you're listening, I love your guts. 1400 of anything is a big number. So 1400 episodes of this here little show, which I love doing. Yeah, it's pretty neat. So I guess, this is as good as time as any to go, hey, if you want to support the show, go buymeacoffee.com/NBA Straya. That's right. You just go buy us a coffee, buy us a tin, shout us a beer once a month or whatever it is. It's our Patreon, right? So you just go there. You get exclusive content every month. Which is really fun and dumb stuff, which I love doing, obviously, because I'm a moron. But yeah, all you have to do, buymeacoffee.com/NBA Straya. If you've got a business, you want to help support the show as well, DM us, off we go. But there you go, 1400 episodes. I'm going to take the squids and old mate to the pub tonight, raise a few jars, and in celebration, which is, the tradition here at NBA Straya, big milestone numbers always get a visit to the pub. So that'll be kind of neat. And, yeah, it's kind of weird because you're sort of like, I'm only 100 episodes away from 1,500 now, which is, I guess, what I will do is do some planning around that one and see if we can't get a couple of special guests on for that one. I'll give myself 100 more episodes to sort that out. Anyway, and I guess the other little update is I am still just a little bit dusty. It was a big night last night. I went to see Bowling for Soup, who I don't, like Bowling for Soup, it's... I don't know. I don't really froth it as much as Frank Turner, who was the other band player. So Frank Turner and the Sleeping Souls. I love Frank Turner. And a lot of that's got to do with COVID, lockdowns. Listened to a lot of Frank Turner in that time because we weren't able to really go and do much else. And so every sort of time I've managed to go see him since, it's been really, really quite nice. And so I had a bit of a sing-along, had about 1 million beers. And I reckon every time I get into trouble with, the day after and like a little bit of a hangover, it's usually when I've gone, you know what, I need to change it up from the insert booze here and go to a different type of booze. And last night I'm like, I can't be bothered walking up to the top bar to get like the Stomping Ground Hazy Pale, which was delicious. Great beer. Love a good Stomping Ground. And I'm like, no, I'm just down here on the dance floor bit at the Forum watching these bands. I'll get one of those Ned's whiskey and cokes. And that sort of change up just sort of changed the tenor of your night. You know what I'm saying? It just gets a little bit hazy very quickly. But anyway, it was a good night. Frank Turner's awesome. Bowling for Soup were very fun. Great crowd. The opening band, the Aussie band, they were really good too. I enjoyed them. Talk Loud, I think it was called. Yeah, anyway. Right. That's enough about me. 1,400 episodes, Dusty Jim, going to the pub in a minute. So let's do some news. It's the daily. Is it a whip around, Jim? Yes, it is. It's always a whip around. This is why they've got the whip. OG Anunoby. So this was the thing we hit on yesterday. We didn't know the extent of his leg injury when he left at the end of that game. He'd been diagnosed with a right hamstring strain as of today, and he will be day to day. Basically, that's like the best case scenario that isn't he's not hurt. Right? He's listed as questionable for Game 3, but this is the cool thing about the Knicks. You've won the first two in New York. You looked really good. Surely you just go, OG, we love your guts. We'll see if we can get one more win without you. Because OG also has this thing about hurting his hammies and like trying to play through them, and it never ends up great. So I'd be like, let's just be a little bit hesitant with all of this. Just take a conservative approach with your hammy and just see how you go. But either way, OG has avoided like a major injury, so we'll see how he goes from here on out. But I think we talked about this on yesterday's show. It is a bit of a yeah, nah. Has he been the Knicks' best player in these playoffs? Yeah, nah, fuck yes. He's been so goddamn good, OG Anunoby. He got them through that first series, absolutely no hassles against Atlanta. The defense, impeccable. The offense has been there's been moments when the Knicks have been spluttering and struggling for any sort of cohesive flow. And he's like, it's all right, boys, I'll just hit this three. Check it out. Brunson hadn't been wildly efficient in some of these games. Cat only got going after the Devil Wears Prada 2 came out. And Josh Hart is a basket case. But OG's been the constant. He's been their best player. Mikal Bridges, he was like absolute roller coaster. But OG, the one constant excellent player for the Knicks. So it's a bit of a loss, but I reckon they'll see if they can gut through a Game 3 without him and see how they go from there. So yes, that'll be a fun one. It's going to be a really good game tomorrow. The Blazers are cheap. Remember? And so it seems unlikely that they're going to hire Tiago Splitter because they tried to lowball him. And Tiago's like, you know what? Fuck off, you cheapskates. I'm not really entirely vibing this. He did go 42-39 as coach. They make the playoffs for the first time in 5 years, which is pretty good. And yeah, Tom Dundon in all of his extreme amazing, I'm really smart because I'm rich. Those two things aren't like correlated, right? And Americans don't seem to understand that. Anyway, so he's cheaped out and Tiago's probably telling him to go get fucked, but in Brazilian. So that's, Portuguese, I guess. But anyway, that's kind of neat. That feels like a bit of fuckery for the Blazers. I feel like they were just sort of pointing in the right direction. Tiago had them singing at times this year. And I feel like that's like looking into their future. It feels a little bit rosier if you've got the dude who knows what buttons to push on that team already. He's there. So I don't know what they're going to do now. Yeah. Tibbs? Nah. Billy D? Nah. Tom Dundon can't afford that. Taylor Jenkins is on like 10 mil at least for the Milwaukee Bucks. Tom Dundon's trying to play Tiago Splitter like a $500,000. What a lunatic. Anyway, so that sucks for Blazers fans. Cleveland apparently tried to get into the Giannis sweepstakes. We found out today. Apparently they wanted Evan Mobley and every single one of their available first-round picks. And Cleveland sort of went, nah, we're good. It will, however, be very interesting to see where Cleveland land. They are obviously now down 2-0. We're about to get to that game. Their entire, setup just feels so janky. And the James Harden thing, which, guess what? I've got some thoughts on. It was such a win now move, but it was sort of fixing something that didn't seem to be broken. It's like, I don't know if the biggest problem you guys had was another ball handler next to Donovan Mitchell and one who can't play in the playoffs, seemingly. Your biggest problem has been the dearth of wings, and here we are again. And the fact that we can't sort of figure out if Mobley and Allen can play together. Anyway, so we'll see what happens there, and we'll see what happens with Giannis. And that's been the other big thing, right? We hit on this very quickly yesterday. Jimmy Haslam's like, look, once we want to get this Giannis stuff sorted before the draft. We've got the draft lottery next week. What is it? May 10 their time. So I think it's Monday morning our time. And it's stupidly in the afternoon. What are you idiots doing? I love the draft lottery. It's one of my favorite things in the NBA. And it's Sunday at Sunday 3 p.m. in the States. What are you doing, idiots? Morons. Anyway. So they'll try to figure out what they're going to do after that. Last little bit. Oh, two little bits. Charles Lee, the Hornets coach, he got an extension, which is good. Obviously, they didn't make the playoffs, but they were one of the best, most improved teams of the season. Had a 25-game win improvement this year. It's his second year as their coach, and he goes, bang. That's pretty bloody good. So, good job by him. And the last one is PJ Tucker retired. Aww. Awesome story, PJ Tucker. They're playing outside in Europe and getting back into the NBA and becoming this excellent role player. That is our Luke Longley Memorial Role Player of the Week right there. It's PJ Tucker. What he did in various stops was very impressive. He was just the sort of do everything kind of guy for, I don't know, about 1 million teams. Who he play for, Jim? Toronto, Phoenix, in 2 different stints after he went overseas. Came back, Toronto again, which is fun. Rockets, and then the Bucks, and then the Heat, and then the Sixers, and then the Clippers, and then the Knicks, and then it was over. But anyway, good on you, PJ Tucker. Absolute. I love that his nickname was Tuckwagon as well. That's just awesome. What a legend. But yeah, a few years overseas, hanging out, comes back, fights his way back into the NBA, and becomes a absolute, crucial role player for a bunch of different really good teams. Those, the mid-teens Phoenix Suns, they're fine. But those Rockets teams, that's where he sort of starts singing, and Milwaukee, obviously, and yeah, good stuff by him. Right, let's wrap up some games from today. Let's do it. Game rats. Cleveland 97. Oh, Cleveland. 97, 107 Detroit. That's a 10-point difference, Jim. It is. This was a really interesting game, and it was kind of weird how it went almost exactly the same as game 1. Where we're going back and forth, and I'm hitting mics. It was going back and forth for a very large chunk of the game, but the problem was the Cavs had sort of gotten off to such a slow start that the Pistons sort of wrenched control away from them very early and didn't really relinquish it until the end of the third quarter and the start of the fourth quarter when Cleveland actually got the lead. They took over 81-79, and you're like, hang on. This is suddenly getting a bit squirrely, but early on, it's just basically Detroit keeping them at arm's length for throughout the second quarter. It felt like they were always up 9 or 11 or something like that. And then the third quarter, they got closer. They got within 2 points to Cleveland. And they were sort of just Donnie Mitchell had gotten going. Suddenly they're back in the game. And then it's just sort of hammer and tongs from then on till they finally, and this is like obviously one of the things we bang on about on NBA Straya, is like getting over the hump and actually getting that lead is really, really difficult. And they did it, right? They'd been 71-72 earlier on. I think they got it back to like 75-76 before the half. And then you get that Dennis Jenkins 3 just before three-quarter time, which was sick. Buzzer beater, Dennis, they call him. But then you got Donnie Mitchell, Jalen Tyson, and Mobley running off those like back-to-back buckets. Duncan Robinson then hits a sick 3. And suddenly the Pistons are back up. And you're like, oh, look out. And at some point you're sitting here going, is Harden going to do anything apart from be shit? And the answer was no. He was just shit. And it was weird. And then you go, well, it wasn't that weird, Jim, because we've seen him do it before. But it was weird how inevitable it felt. And it was kind of sad at the same time. You're like, oh, yeah, now he's old and bad. This is just depressing. I don't know. Anyway, but the biggest ones obviously come with the Cade Cunningham 3, the absolute dagger 3, which puts them back up like, 9 or whatever it was, I think. With 2 minutes 12 to go. They're back up 101-92. And that was essentially, it gave them just enough sort of breathing space that Cleveland sort of got going and threatened a little bit again. But by the time they were up by 9, even with that the Orsar Thompson 3 that was waved off, it didn't really matter because they got the Jalen Duren free throws. And then with 26 seconds left, where they're sort of still there, right? Within 2 possessions, like a 6-point game. Harden turns the ball over. You get the Jalen Duren free throws and, Detroit hold on to win it pretty solidly. But, I mean, so much of this was simply the Cavs having an all-time Barry Crocker shocker when it comes to shooting. 7 of 32 from 3 they went. It was absolutely brutal. And I said on today's NBA coffee run, what's going on with Donnie Mitchell? Is he going to get going? And today he did. He had 31 on 11 of 24 shots. He only went 2 of 9 from 3, though, so he didn't help. 3 assists, 2 turnovers. Harden obviously couldn't hit the side of a fucking backboard. 3 of 13 he shot and 0 of 4 from deep. Mobley somehow, despite being fucking 7 foot and bigger than 80% of the dudes on the court, he got 1 rebound in a full game of NBA basketball. He played 36 minutes and had 1 singular rebound, which he had 3 blocks, 3 steals. And you might be like, oh, well, Jared Allen probably got all the rebound. Nah, Allen only had the 7, and Mobley was just sort of in no man's land for so much of this game. And that's the sort of thing that makes you think, that'd be looking pretty interesting over here as part of a bit of a trade package, aren't you there, Mr. Mobley? Anyway, Allen had 22 and 7. His offense has been going off its head, which is really good. But their big problem is everybody else couldn't hit a fucking shot. Dean Wade, Schroeder, Strus, 1 of 6 for Strus, brutal. Tyson, 7 points on 7 shots. Yeah. 11 turnovers total, but the shooting, it just completely let them down. Detroit, meanwhile, went absolutely ham. They went 14 to 28 from deep and absolutely crushed it. Duncan Robinson steps up and goes bang, 5 and 9 from deep for his 17 points. Tobias Harris was massive again. He had 21 and 7. But obviously, Cade Cunningham, that big 3 that he hit late was huge. 25 and 10 for him, 7 of 14 shooting, 3 rebounds, 2 blocks, a steal, absolutely everywhere. And this is the thing that I talked about in the series preview, right? The size of their backcourt, when you can sort of throw Cade out there, you can throw Orsar Thompson out there, it just makes it really fucking hard for the Cavs to do anything on offense because there's so much size and defensive length everywhere. Because you got Ron Holland he was in foul trouble today, but Beef Stew was in foul trouble, obviously. Ron Holland picked up 2 early fouls and didn't play a giant amount. It was a bit weird, but everything else, though, Dennis Jenkins hitting shots again at home, 14 points. He did shoot 6 of 14, but he was awesome. Karis LeVert had 8. Awesome Thompson, he had 2 steals and had 10 and 7. But that was it. Detroit just shot the piss out of it at home, 14 of 28 from 3. When you hit double the amount of threes that the other team takes and you take less, you double the amount that they make and you take 4 less. It's pretty bloody good. So well done by the Pistons. For me, so much of this just comes down to their defense. That that opening quarter, it was just vicious. The turnovers were flying thick and fast. I think they had 6 turnovers, like right out of the gate. The problem was Detroit couldn't capitalize. I think they had 7 points off the 6 turnovers. It wasn't great, and it sort of continued to pace. And this is the big thing, right? The one thing you'd sort of hang your hat on in this series is the simple fact that Detroit's defense might be the best unit out there. So here we are. 2-0 Detroit. And then we saw another OKC beatdown of the Lakers. Whoop, 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 whoop. No, we didn't, Jim. I know. This game was actually pretty good until OKC went, right, that's enough. And like verbal meme, it's the guy playing with the game controller and the next panel, he's concentrating so he's leaned forward. That's what OKC did in this game. They're like, oh, fuck, we're down at halftime. All right, we better concentrate. And then fucking came out and just waxed them in the second half. Like, waxed them. Like, the second half, they got straight kills.
So he got straight killed.
And the Lakers, again, stink.
The Lakers stink!
Yep. That's where we are. It was, 49-68 in that second half. 125-107, the Thunder end up beating the Lakers. The defense just ran out of gas. Marcus Smart couldn't hit a single fucking shot. It felt like it was 27-23 after the first quarter. Lakers had been hitting shots, staying within spitting distance. There was 6 lead changes. And like they outscored them 35-30 in the second quarter. They went 7-16 on threes. Rui was hitting everything. Kennard had hit a couple of threes. Reeves was playing out of his mind. LeBron had 10, 2, and 5. SGA had 11. AJ Mitchell was at 13 at the half. And the Lakers led 58-57. And yes, they still end up losing by 18. That's how good the Thunder are. They're just like, it was crazy. There was this really great, like, in the third quarter, there's like this big 6-point swing where LeBron misses a 3, but they get the O board and they try to basically force it back to LeBron. Does Jackson Hayes. He gets the rebound and like LeBron sort of fumbles it away. And then Jared McCain just hits a 3. And you're like, fuck, that's a big tough 6-point swing. Because it was suddenly 93-80 after 3 quarters, and they outscored them 36-22 in that quarter, right? McCain's going off his head all of a sudden. OKC just like almost incidentally had like a 15-3 run and just sort of took control. That's what they do. Because they just get stops. They make your shots that much fucking harder. And the Lakers make the inevitable run. And it was good. LeBron hits this 3. It's a 7-zip run at the start of the fourth. They've pulled it back to like 6 points with 9 minutes to go. You're like, look out. But then you turn around, you're like, oh, now they're down 16 points. It was a bloodbath. They just one after the other. It was absolutely crazy. There was an incredible, like 5 minutes to go. SGA just laces a 3 and you're like, ooh, yeah, it's 16 points now. That might be it, boys. Pack her up. There's another little moment where Casey Wallace hits like a beautiful floater, end of the shot clock. Kennard goes back up the other way. Nice slice and dicing. But then Wallace is back there by himself. Off a made basket. No one defending him. Just open 3. Bang. Knocks it in. It's a 17-point game. Pack her up, boys. You are done. So the Lakers end up shooting 11-29 from downtown. After their hot start, they completely cooled off. So what did I say? They were 7. In the first quarter, they were, I think, 7. Oh, no, in the first half, they were 7 of 16. So, yeah, 4 of 13 the rest of the way. That's good, quick maths, Jim. Thanks. 1,400 episodes. That's how you get great being a math magician. But the turnovers are the other big one. 20 turnovers. They just force so many turnovers, do this fucking pack of velociraptors there in OKC. It was brutal at times. Just like, oh, like you're literally grimacing. Just like, oh, that one hurt. SGA's flopping around fucking everywhere. Chet's flopping like a fucking giant 7-foot Gumby-looking fish. You can almost call him a gummy shark. But yeah, it was just the second half. This is the one where you go, oh, imagine if you had Luka. This might be the game that they could have stolen in OKC, and instead they lose by 18. LeBron was still very good. 23, 2 and 6, 3 turnovers, 3 steals. The turnovers looked like a guy who's 41 and being asked to do a little bit too much. Austin Reeves, though, I said, I think on NBA Coffee Run this morning and on yesterday's show during the preview for this, he's not going to be as shit as he was in game 1. He wasn't. He was much better. my fear was that he wasn't going to be that shit. He was going to be worse. Instead, he went out and was absolutely fucking unreal. 10 of 16 for his 31 points. That's a career high in the playoffs. 3 of 6 from deep for a team that went 11 of 29. That's pretty bloody good. 5 turnovers as well, though. That was the big fucking problem. Like, Smart kept turning it over. He had 3 turnovers. He shot 4 of 13. It was brutal. Rui, 4 of 7 from 3 for his 16. You got Duckman Luke Kennard. 2 of 3 he was in the first half. Doesn't take another 3 the rest of the fucking way. What are you doing, Luke Kennard? You've got one job. Most of that job is to shoot threes. And he's like, nah, man, I've hit 2 or 3 already. That's me done for the night. It's like, someone's protecting their percentage here. Yeah. So the turnovers fucked him. Nothing else really off the bench. Jackson Hayes is all right, but yeah. For the Oklahoma City Thunder, though, just death by 1,000 cuts. That's how they get you. Like, Chet had 22 and 9 with 4 steals and 2 blocks and one giant fucking flop that should seem fine. 22, 2 and 2. 22 for 2 and 2 for SGA. Isaiah Hartenstein, 10 and 9. 20 for AJ Mitchell. He was awesome, even without hitting threes. His movement off the ball was fucking beautiful. 18 for Jared McCain. Jim, are you going to yell about the Sixers needing Jared McCain again? No. I'm going to let Sixers fans fucking stew in their own juices and get fucking angry at Daryl Morey one more time rather than me do it for them. I'm just saying a bloke who goes 7 of 11 from the floor and 4 of 5 from 3 might have been pretty fucking handy to have right now for the Sixers. Just saying. Case and Wallace ends up with 12 as well. So they go 14 of 36 from downtown. They shot 56% from the floor. They just were fucking awesome in that second half. AJ Mitchell, fantastic. Great game. OKC are just, they're fucking terrifying. And I did feel okay for most of this game taking the Lakers plus 15.5 yesterday until the very end where OKC just like, no, what are you doing? We are going to fuck them up, Jim. And I'm like, oh, yes, you are. Oh, nuts. So who was the NBA Straya Pro Performer of the night?
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
We're going to give this one to Cade Cunningham. God, he was good. But essentially, it's like, oh, you guys think this is getting close. All right, that's neat. That's not a knife, though. This is a knife. Bang, here's a 3 with 2 minutes left to put us back up 9. That was immaculate. God, he was good. 25 and 10. Yes, he had the 5 turnovers, but you get that on the big jobs, especially when you're the only guy that's really providing like any spark and anything for the offense. Dennis was awesome, but yeah, Cade, that's all on his shoulders. Honorable mention, I guess, to Austin Reeves, like just for fucking having a crack, but yeah, 31 just wasn't enough when you lose by 18. Like, this is the thing. The pop gun Lakers offense is going to find it really fucking hard to roll with the Thunder. And yeah, it annoys me that I sort of like, 15.5, they should probably keep that close. And they did for the vast majority of this game until right at the end. So anyway, but Cade, just, that's a superstar shot to go up 2-0 at home in the second round of the playoffs. That was awesome. Good job by him. And look, I'm not going to give Chet this because he flopped like an absolute just flog, and he should get fined. SGA, 22 and 7 of 13. Didn't have to do too much. That big 3 late was awesome, but yeah. Spud of the night today, Jim.
Spud. Spud it is Spud. Spud of the night.
Spud of the night. I don't like picking on my bearded brethren, but when it's James Harden, it's just so fun. Because it's really easy. It's like, Darius Garland's even at home. It's like, I don't care. Darius Garland probably wouldn't have shit his pants as badly as James Harden did again in a big playoff spot because, I don't know, James Harden shits his pants in big playoff spots. And again, we've talked about this before. Expecting a different result from doing the same thing over and over is the definition of insanity. So this is 4 teams since Houston that have talked themselves into going, James Harden is the missing secret sauce to our team. And it has not been the missing secret sauce to your team because you get to the playoffs and the thing in his pants is a log, but it's not his penis. It's a giant turd that he's just like, he's waddling around with a giant dookie just in his shorts because he shit his pants. Today, 10 points on 3 of 13 shooting, 0 of 4 from downtown, 3 assists, and 4 turnovers. It's the 4th time in 9 playoff games so far this year that he's had more turnovers than made field goals. Woo! That's the James Harden experience, baby. This is his 182nd career playoff game. So he's had 4 turnovers and 3 made field goals. That's the 46th playoff game that he's had as many or more turnovers than made field goals, which is over a quarter of his playoff games. That's fucking horrible. There's a reason it's a fucking trope, right? Tropes are tropes for a reason. He's now got 29 flat-out games where he's had more turnovers than field goals as well, right? So just more, flat-out more. Not even equal, it's just more. 29 playoff games and more turnovers than field goals. That's more than LeBron, Luka, Steph, Giannis, Jokic, and KD combined. Oh, no! That is just fucking jaw-dropping, isn't it? It is a level of ineptitude in a big moment that is genuinely stunning and kind of impressive at how bad he is in these moments. So our hats off to you, legendary Spud of the playoffs, James Harden. There we go. If you're watching the YouTube, I literally tip my hat. This is a good Charlotte Hornets hat. Who's old mate no mates today?
Old mate, no mates. Old mate, no mates.
Old mate, no mates.
Old mate, no mates.
Old mate, no mates.
Old mate, no mates.
Who's got no mates today? Michael Porter Jr. is going to have a rough one with these Brooklyn Nets brethren, isn't he? He didn't get selected as an all-star this year because his team was shit. He played very well, but yeah, when you're on a shit team and you're putting up empty numbers, guess what? He's like, yeah, I regret that once I didn't make that game, I let my foot off the gas. I wasn't in the weight room as much. I wasn't preparing as much. He shot 25% from 3 after the all-star break. Imagine fronting up to the team this year. It's like, oh yeah, remember how I just fucking gave up last year after I got sad that I didn't make the all-star game? Everybody in that fucking locker room should beat the shit out of him. Just, did you call the red alert? It's like, yes, I'm Michael Porter Jr. He's old mate, no mates anyway, because he is an old mate, no mates Hall of Famer. Don't forget, Michael Porter Jr. famously not in the group text of the team group text. They all went out for dinner for a team meeting, and he wasn't invited, despite being on the team. Still amazing. Jaylen Brown is also old mate, no mates. He just got to get him off streams. What is he? Put that man in front of a microphone. It's like, dude, do you understand the words coming out of your mouth? It's like, no. And Draymond, old mate, no mate. So I mentioned this at the top. Him going after Charles Barkley and looking like the world's dumbest fucking idiot. Oh, just kissing fingers emoji. So he's like, hey, Chuck, yeah, we don't all want to be like you in a Houston uniform. And like, Chuck's like, what? I was good in Houston, you fucking moron. Even Kenny was taken aback. Ernie looked like he was going to start crying. And I think I saw someone make this point. The reason that Chuck can say shit and get away with it isn't because he's saying outlandish shit and we just go, oh, that's what Chuck does. He does it because he's earned it. Because we all, I think most of the time, understand that where Chuck is usually coming from, it's from a place of understanding, a place of grace, a place of wanting the best for folks that he might be criticizing, whatever. Like, he's not just saying shit to say shit a lot of the time. And he's also lovable, right? Charles Barkley is lovable, so he can say shit. We go, that's Chuck. He's funny. Draymond just fucking says shit, and he's a fuckwit. And people fucking hate the guy. So when you have the missing ingredient of being lovable, and then you're trying to take down lovable characters by being a massive fuckhead to them, guess what? You've got no fucking mates, Draymond. And I love that Chuck went after him. He was like, man, you're terrible. Like, teams get old. Like, you ain't going to win. And he's just like breaking it down. And he's very, very, very measured and explains how this all works. And Draymond fucking chucks a sad and has a crack at him. And everyone's just fucking telling him to pull his head in. And my favorite thing would be if this just fucks up Draymond's post NBA media career because everyone's like, oh, wait, yeah, you are a fuckhead. Ugh. No, we don't need him here. Pantsing of the night. Absolutely showing of his own ass by Draymond, so that was a self-pantsing. LeBron got his oop just swatted into the fucking back row by Hartenstein, I think it was. It was awesome. That was a yep, that's me. I guess you're wondering how I got here moment. That's me. LeBron's like, I'm 41. What am I doing here? But my favorite today of all-time pantsing was Dennis Schroeder. I am German Rondo. Cade Cunningham blocked his shot under the basket back into Schroeder's face. That is 100% face. He should have screamed that right at him because that was fucking awesome. Great job, Cade Cunningham. All right, better than Lonzo Ball, Ben Simmons, and Bronny James.
Lonzo was the best player in high school. He was the best player in college. You think he'll get to the pros and be like, I made it to the pros, now I can be average. He's coming for everybody.
Coming for everybody. Bronny did have a 2-minute, 1-assist little cameo today after it all got out of hand. But this one was easy. Dennis Jenkins, 14, 6, and 4 for the Pistons. Fantastic again. Just like gives them that awesome little bench punch, right? His energy, his movement. You've got to have fucking eyes on the guy the entire time. It's awesome. And the same goes for the other winner, AJ Mitchell, who was awesome today. 20 points, 7 of 12 shooting. Didn't hit a 3, went 0 of 3, but 6 of 7 at the free throw line. 6 assists, 3 rebounds, and 2 turnovers. You get that on the big jobs. He was fantastic as well. His movement, his defense, like him basically being able to be plug-and-play J-Dub is incredible. And OKC are now kicking the fuck out of the Lakers and don't need J-Dub. And they still might get an awesome pick from the Clippers. What a world we live in. Anyway, that's pretty funny. Great job by Dennis Jenkins. Dennis Jenkins and AJ Mitchell today. They are better than Lonzo Ball, Bronny James, and Ben Simmons, who's probably just caught a nice bass today or something. I don't know. Does love fishing, that kid. Anyway, it's time for everyone's favorite Magic Tweet of the Week. Detroit Pistons superstar Cade Cunningham dominated the game tonight with 12 of his 25 points in the fourth quarter. He got help from Tobias Harris with 21 points to beat the Cleveland Cavaliers and take a 2-0 lead in the series. What do we say? Thanks, Magic. Nothing about the Lakers, though. It's a rough one, I'll tell you. It's a rough one. And finally, this is easy. The Draymond Green Memorial Dickhead of the Week Award. Dickhead of the Week! Yeah, it's Draymond. Not only is he getting into it with Austin Rivers, and Austin Rivers is clapping back quite spectacularly, by the way. But as I've said, Austin Rivers versus Draymond Green, it's Alien versus Predator. No matter who wins, we lose. Because they're just both fucking idiots. They both suck. And this is like such a crucial aspect. Like no one is like looking at Austin Rivers go, gee, I like that guy. Everybody thinks Austin Rivers is a fucking dork-ass dweeb fuckwit. They think the same about Draymond as well, but he's got 4 titles and he's a defensive legend. The problem is then Draymond, being a giant fuckwit that people don't like, goes after a beloved icon like Charles Barkley in an ill-attempted, ill-advised, and ill-thought-out attack, and it's backfired quite, again, spectacularly because it's just dumb. Like, hey, Chuck, we don't all want to end up like you in a Houston uniform. It's like, Draymond, are you what? Chuck was good in Houston. It took a fucking crazy John Stockton shot that took 1,000,000 years for him to hit to knock them out of a Western Conference Finals, or else they could have gone back to a Finals. And Barkley, in his 4 seasons as a Houston Rocket, averaged a 16, 12, and 4, and was a 4 box plus minus. Draymond, over his last current 4 seasons, has averaged 8, 6, and 6, and is a 0.5 box plus minus. That's horrifyingly shit. Like, it's not even half as fucking good as Chuck Barkley in Houston. So not only was it just like a really fucking stupid, awkward moment where you try to attack somebody, but it was flat out fucking wrong. You giant, beaming dickhead, Draymond Green. Go blow it out your ass. Anyway, let's do some quick yeah-nahs right after this.
This is Cam Glidden.
This is Anthony Drimmick.
This is Mitch McCarron.
This is Jason Kadee.
This is Darryl McDonald.
Hey guys, this is Hugh Greenwood.
Yo, what's going on? This is Illy.
This is Mark Worthington, or commonly known as Wortho, and you're listening to NBA Straya.
You listen to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA
And you're listening to
Straya.
NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
All right, let's do some yeah-nahs brought to you by you. That's right. You can help support the show by simply going to buymeacoffee.com/NBA Straya. Easy as you like. Join the Dead Set Legends Club. You get exclusive content every month. It's very fun. It's sometimes a bit silly, but I love it. It's just like this show, really. Yeah, so go do it if you want to help keep the lights on here. It'd be much appreciated. So, to the legend who saw me in the forum bathrooms last night and said, "Jim, listen to the show. I haven't bought you a coffee yet." I'm like, "That's all right, man. It's fine. I still love your guts anyway." Anyway, it'd be super appreciated. Go do it. Buymeacoffee.com/NBA Straya. Right. Yeah, nice. Hey, Jim. The Lakers crashing out and having a sook after game 2 at the refs. Was that warranted? Yeah, nah. I mean, that's not the reason you lost by 18. It certainly didn't help, though. Right? JJ Redick saying after the game, LeBron has the worst whistle of any star player I've ever seen, seemingly having never watched Shaq. Bit weird. But, I mean, that's not the reason they're losing. At the same time, this speaks to a larger problem I think we've got with OKC. And this is one I've got written down here. Is flopping why OKC isn't more beloved? Yeah, nah. Yeah, it's kind of a part of it. Like that and their sort of corny ass, like, oh, gee, shucks. Gee, Willikers, I can't believe we keep winning. We're going to do these group interviews. Like, the flopping, however, the every time SGA, like, throwing his head up in the blah. Like, even today, like, when Reeves gets him, like, it's nowhere near his head or anything. He's throwing his head back like he's been shot. Like, it's the James Harden corollary. It's the Chris Paul. It's just all the floppers over the years. And, like, when Chet goes down, like, he's just had his head caved in with, like, a piece of, like, lead pipe. And he hasn't been touched. Like, at some point, we've just got to fucking start finding these dickheads, don't we? Because it's stupid. And so when SGA is getting all these calls and then Reeves and LeBron aren't, like, yeah, I can see why they'd be frustrated. And I do think it does sort of speak to a larger, like, the ethical hoops sort of debate going on, right? Ethical hoops is a big thing this year. And that, I think, is a big part of the OKC sort of chatter. So Tyrese Halliburton is asked about this, and he's like, yeah, man, like part of like the NBA, and like it's always been a part of it, selling calls. It's like, yeah, but there's something just a bit fucking gross about where we've gotten to with it, isn't there? Right? I think a lot of the time, and like this is a long-standing vibe here on NBA Straya, 1,400 episodes in, is that the shooter who makes an unnatural movement to like draw contact, it should like 100% of the time, if you've sort of like gotten someone off their feet and you've jumped into them, like I get it. A lot of the time that's cool. But if you're jumping fucking sideways into them, it's like, dipshit, you're not shooting first. You're drawing contact first. Fuck off. You're out of here. Like that's not a foul. Just, that's where I'd be drawing the line. I'd be finding the shit out of absolutely everybody who's flopping as well. Like 50 grand, boom, suck shit. Stop your fucking flopping. I've got another one coming in as well. But yeah, I think, look, the Lakers are right to be a bit pissed. The OKC stuff has gotten to a bit of a level where it is a bit, how you going? And I think that'll be sort of like a bit more of a story as we go deeper and deeper in these playoffs and people just spend way more time, again, same as last year, just watching the Thunder. Because yes, I get it. Like not everyone watches all the teams all the time, similar to like, you know, us basketball junkies might. But when you do fixate on just like, you know, what, there's 8 remaining teams, yeah, you get to suddenly watch a lot of OKC going, oh, and flopping around like a dead fish. Anyway, Anthony G had a good one. Hey, Jim, got a yeah, nah for you. Is Tobias Harris good? Like, actually good. He's been balling. Yeah, nah. This is the eternal Tobias Harris question. Like, is he good? Fucked if anybody knows. Even Tobias Harris probably understands that he's good at basketball. I don't know if Tobias Harris knows just how good Tobias Harris is at basketball. In all of his stops, there is every team is going to be, is that it? Can you do 15% more? And he's like, 8% more. You got it, boss. And you're like, God damn it, Tobias. Every time. But he has been so good. And I think the Cavs sort of defensive structures this series have very much lended themselves to Tobias being very, very solid. He's shooting the piss out of as well, which is obviously very handy. But a lot of it sort of has to do with the simple idea that they've got a sort of weirdly janky fitting roster, it feels like. And Tobias is sort of the one that can sort of pop off and do a lot of whatever he wants for the Detroit Pistons. So that's pretty good. He has been balling, so Anthony G was right there. But yeah, is he good? I don't think we'll ever know. He's made a lot of money. I don't know if he's good. Has a P had a good one. Hey, Jim, was Wemby winning Spud of the Night a sign that when he returns to normal, which is not being a Spud, that this series will still finish 4-1? Or are the Spurs in some real trouble moving forward? Was it a case of already looking forward to OKC? Yeah, nah. Yeah. I think this was 100% I should have been banging on more about this, I think, after that Wolves game. And I kind of did a lot, right? Saying about how literally the way we would have thought about game one of Spurs-Wolves if Champagne had just hit that 3, right? Would have been a completely sort of different narrative. And then they fucking smoked them in game 2. And for me, that was very much that's what I expected in game 1. And people are sort of blowing a lot of smoke up Minnesota's ass for game 1. Wemby has a shit game. He's super duper solid again in game 2. They fucking wax him. They got straight killed.
But he got straight killed.
And I fully expect, in Minnesota, the Wolves to be tough again. But I still actually kind of expect the Wolves to not win this series. And I kind of think the Spurs might, as Hazard P has said, go 4-1. Because I think there's this Ant-Man on one leg, no Dante, AO coming back. It's just a really fucking tough ask, right? And I think with that lack of cohesion, the injury sort of mounting against the Spurs team, it's just oh, fuck, right, yeah, we're going to concentrate on this series, don't we? I think it's going to get real hard real quick. I really do like the Spurs, just saying. Jesse B. I like this one. Talking about Mark Dagenham just deleting his Chewy. He's mad on the Chewy, this bloke. So he's just crunching gum. Do you think he might be on the gear? Yeah, nah. Oh, OKC. I don't know. You see someone chewing gum like that and when you're in Ballarat, it's I'm giving him a wide berth. Because he's either going to give me a hug or he's going to try to kick my head in. It's the Ballarat special, that is. So, OKC and Ballarat, I don't know how much they've got in common, but yeah, when someone's just gooning off their face on gum, I don't know if there's other substances involved, but my advice is always just to stay clear. Simple as that. It's a good one. Lakers, are they any chance of winning a game? Yeah, nah. I don't think so. I think I had them in a gentleman's sweep. I kind of they'll probably pick up game 3 or game 4 at home. OKC might just all go get shit-faced one night in LA, partying a bit too hard, and away we go. Do the Cavs have a chance? Yeah, nah. They've got a better chance than the Lakers, yeah. But I think we took Detroit in 6, I think, in that series, and I still feel pretty good about that. Because I think the Cavs offense will kick back into gear once they're back at home. The role players, Strus will probably hit a bunch of shots. He's probably my favorite look on Sunday, like a Strus 4+3s kind of thing. But yeah, they've got a chance, but I again, like the thing I keep banging on about is just if their defense can't sort of match the Detroit sort of work rate and trying to slow down, basically just go, right, well, Cade is everything. If we can slow him down, we can slow down the team, right? That's what they need to get to. I reckon they'll get a couple of games in there. I just don't know if they're going to get through this series. So, nah. Will the Sixers get a game in this series? Yeah, nah. Yeah, I reckon. They'll get a game against the Knicks. I think I picked that to go 7, and then we don't have Embiid. They came, pretty close to having a good old crack yesterday, but it does feel like they're a little outmatched. But with OG going down, you never know. So I'm going to say, yeah, the Sixers are going to get a game. Unpopular opinion of the day.
Now look at me, please. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me.
A lot of Jamal Murray trade chatter. And unpopular opinion of the day, it's really the only places I think should make a move for Jamal Murray if they're so inclined. There are literally 2 teams, and everyone else, I'm like, I don't want a bar of it. It is Orlando or Phoenix, and that is it. Like, I don't want to hear this, what about Boston for Jaylen Brown? Jaylen Brown would be perfect next to Jokic. Yeah, what the fuck does Jamal Murray do in Boston? It's fucking stupid. Orlando desperately need that table setter and that scorer. Their defense might suffer, but their defense was shithouse this year anyway, right? So, building out an actual trade package, though, if you're Orlando, is just really hard. Jamal makes $50 million next year, 53 the year after, and 57 when he's 32. So he's 29 at the moment, so 3 more years on that contract. It's a bit hard to get to. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. I reckon, though, he's just had an actual healthy year. He's not the reason they go out in that first round series. He didn't fucking help, though, much by just deciding to go ice cold at the worst possible time. So, I don't know. Interesting offseason in Denver. It's about the rabbits in China. How about... Does anyone get that reference from that fucking... What was it, a Land Cruiser ad? It's like, it was a Land Cruiser? I don't even remember what... Amy? Might have been Amy. Some ad. It's like some kid. So why'd they build a great wall of China? It's like, keep the rabbits out. A lot of rabbits in China. Every time it gets me. Outback Takehouse for today. It's Friday at Outback, and in honour of NBA Straya's 1400th episode, it's 4 for 1 cans of ice cold Foster's Lager. That's right. Their oil drum cans the size of your bloody head, and they've also got those solo wide mouths so you can guzzle it down fast. And it's only at Outback. Goes great with the flame grilled take. And today's flame grilled take is one that I had a while back, and I absolutely love it. Every single time an NBA player waggles their finger in the air to review a call, the refs should automatically call for that review. And that's that. There's no second guessing. You did the finger movement. Guess what? We're reviewing that, and that's the only challenge you've got. Now your coach is going to punch your head in. That'll fucking put an end to the finger waving epidemic after every possession right now, right fucking quick. Only at Outback. I fucking hate the finger, I didn't get him, review it. It's like, fucking shut up. You're a role player. It's like the 9th minute of the first quarter. Sit your ass down. Don't fucking do dumb fucking fouls and ask for a review. You idiot. Put your fingers down. Like, every coach should be allowed to give him a clip behind the ears if they do that. But I reckon the best way to get around that is like the refs are like, oh no, he did the review signal, so that's it, coach. You're all out of challenges because fucking dummy McDumbfuck over here called for a review, and the coach will just. You ever want to see Joey Muzz choke out a motherfucker on his own team? Boom, there you go. Baylor Scheinman calls for a review. He's like, fucking that's it. Good night. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. That's it. There you go. That's a pretty good Outback Takehouse for the 1400th episode. A couple of other greatest hits. Every time you do the finger waggle, the refs go, all right, that's it. You've called for it, idiot. Another great one is, why do we not have just throwback week in the NBA every year for like one of the weeks, and we just do all throwback jerseys, everyone playing throwbacks? It's fucking stupid. Again, this is the vice president of common fucking sense over here, right? One of my favorites is that every NBA player should get to fight one fan each season if they want. Talk shit, get hit. It's the gym rule. It's like, yeah, you want to talk shit to somebody, Russell Westbrook, hey, you can talk shit to him, but guess what? Every calendar year, he gets to fight one fan. The amount of times and the amount of awesome fucking things this would lead to. Because if Russell Westbrook blows his chance, like really early on in a season, to fight that one fan, he's blown it. Now everybody can have at it and call him Westbrick. Like as soon as he fights that one fan and probably kicks the living shit out of him, guess what? It's a free-for-all after that. But he could also remember. And then the next year rolls around and you might be next. I love this. It's the best idea ever. Anyway. And my favorite other one is stealing Santa rules for draft picks. Draft picks can only be traded twice. You can't obviously get another pick if like basically stealing Santa rules for draft picks. That'd fucking stop the chaos of all these fucking picks moving around. You think it's going to be weird? Wait till we get to this draft. The lottery happening on a fucking Sunday afternoon is stupid as fuck. Great job, everybody at the NBA. We've taken away an awesome thing that was on a Thursday night every year or whatever, and then just gone and fucked it. Awesome. But yeah, when we get to this actual draft, you'll see, like, fuck all people actually have their original pick. It's going to be amazing. So, anyway, no Australian player watch today because we had no Tyrese Proctor getting on the floor. He copped another did not play coach's decision. That's all right. You get that on the big jobs. How about an Andrew Gaze Gray MAMBA Award for outstanding achievement in the field of excellence?
It's the first annual
Andrew Gaze Gray MAMBA.
Outstanding achievement here.
The field of excellence. James Harden is 12 games away from having played the most playoff games in NBA history without winning an NBA title. That is excellence at mediocrity. Like, it's outstanding achievement in the field of excellence of mediocrity. Karl Malone is the leader in the clubhouse of excellence in the field of excellence in mediocrity. 193 playoff games, and Harden's at 181. So he's never missed the playoffs. He's also never won a title, that's crazy. I do love that, though. A sort of combination of that Andrew Gaze Gray MAMBA Award and a Shane Hill shoot your shot, light 'em up award. This is a good one, too. I like this a lot.
He threw it down. Are you healed? Are you healed? Praise the Lord, I'm healed.
Praise the Lord, for I'm healed. It is the Shane Hill
Shoot.
Shoot Your Shot, Light 'em Up Award.
All right, how about Jalen Brunson? I will tell you what. Jalen Brunson had 26 yesterday against the Sixers. He now has 1,920 total career playoff points. 1,920. He has gone past Carmelo Anthony, Oscar Robertson, and Dwight Howard in career playoff points. So that's pretty good. He's 76th all time in playoff scoring. He's also, I think, the 6th most points through a player's first 50 games with any one team, apparently. So it's Jalen Brunson behind Jerry West, Allen Iverson, Luka Doncic on the Mavs, Elgin Baylor on the Lakers. There's always an Elgin Baylor stat. And yes, Michael Jordan. So that's pretty good. So it's a bit of excellence, and it's a shoot because he fucking loves lighting it up. How about a bit of a great moment in NBA Straya stat history? Oh, this one is a real kick in the dick, I'll tell you. But it's 1,400 episodes. We're going to do the entire kit and caboodle.
Great moments in NBA Straya stat history.
The year is 2021. A young Ben Simmons, 24 years old Ben Simmons at this point, is in the second round of the playoffs against the Atlanta Hawks. This is not the infamous game. The no dunk pass to Matisse Thybulle under the basket game. No, this is just, it's such a kick in the dick when you go back and look at Box Hill Benny's stats. Because you're like, in that series, up until that point, he had a 17, 4, and 10 with 4 steals in game 1 against Atlanta. He had a 4, 3, and 7 with 2 more steals and a block in game 2. He had an 18, 4, and 7 with a steal. An 11, 12, and 9 after that. And then it all went to shit. But it's just one of those things. In the first round against Washington, he rattled off a 6, 15, and 15, a 22, 9, and 8, a 14, 5, and 9, a 13, 12, and 3, and a 19, 10, and 11 triple-double to close out the Wizards in 5. Like, this is why the Ben Simmons, I'm a fisherman now. This is 5 years ago. It's not like fucking 10 years ago. It's 5 years ago, and he's just out of the NBA, and he's a fisherman now. The entire Ben Simmons story arc is so frustrating and so infuriating. He was so good, then got fully into his own fucking head, and here we are. Hope he's catching a really nice fish today. Good on you. Stealing all that money, I mean, should be put in jail. Anyway, let's do a bit of a Patty Mills Game Day Ball, a Game Day Twitter check-in. I think this is just Jock Landale. I hate that he's gone down and he's hung out with the Collingwood Magpies. That's just gross. Do not appreciate or like at all. But yeah, good on him for being in town. So if anyone's got to look into Jock, tell him to come on the show because he's never been on NBA Straya. Pleasure to welcome Atlanta Hawks center and lifelong Pies fan Jock Landale and his family to the KGM Centre the Savo. And yeah, there's Jock with his big old Landale 31 Pies jersey. Gross. Anyway, come on the show, Jock. It'd be good to have you. So if anyone knows Jock, put him in touch. Right. Let's do some game previews for the weekend. Game previews. Thanks, Inadvertent Bane. Not a problem, Jim. Congrats on 1,400 episodes. Yeah, as I said, it's like way more than 1,400, but fucking, this is the number. Whatever. Right, remember you can find our picks over at Dabble. The link is in our show description and our social bios. We went 1 of 2 today. Too much faith in the Lakers. They were right there, and just, oh God, that was infuriating down the stretch, wasn't it? Anyway, we've got some really interesting ones, obviously, on the weekend. Game 3s, this is obviously backs against the wall. Freak out time if you are up 2-0, or if you're down 2-0 and you lose Game 3. It's all over Red Rover, we know that. So, with New York visiting Philly for Game 3. So Saturday, we've got New York, Philly, and San Antonio, Minnesota. Sunday, we've got Detroit, Cleveland, OKC, Lakers. So for all of these, they go to the next city. And the way that these series are set up is awesome. I love the the days where we're going every second day. You're just playing, just play. And so much of this Philly thing just hinges purely on whether or not we'll get Embiid, right? And I think so much of being an NBA champion, so much of it comes down to, can you play? Just can you play? He's listed as questionable at the moment, Embiid. So I guess we'll know more tomorrow, but yeah, it's going to be a bit of a rough one. They are 1.5-point favorites in Philly, are the Sixers. So home favorites by 1.5 points. How do we feel about this? Because I don't feel very good. Right. Maxey was really, really good early. Paul George was really good early. And then they just run out of gas. And I kind of feel like you might get that again. The Knicks have been playing so well. The way that they executed down the stretch, defensively and offensively. They also were a bit shit on offense, though. They didn't, what was it? They outscored them like 19-12 or whatever it was in that fourth quarter. And it wasn't great, but they got the win. And them being 1.5-point underdogs, yeah, it's a bit tricky. But if Embiid plays, like I feel it does give Philly at least that wiggle room to generate a bit more offense out of absolutely nothing that they were obviously really lacking in Game 2, even though they pushed them right to the edge. So if Embiid plays, I might take Philly. If he doesn't, I think I just swing it back to New York. So there you go. That's the pick. So I guess it's basically New York, right? And then you've got Minnesota hosting San Antonio. So it's a 9 a.m. start for the first game, 11:30 for this one. The Spurs are 4.5-point road favorites, and I'm going to take the Spurs. Game 2 was such an almighty beatdown that it's sort of hard to just move on and go, oh, yeah, no, Minnesota will definitely bounce back from that. They're just not healthy enough. I just don't know if they've got enough. Like, when you're suddenly relying so much on Terrence Shannon Jr. and Mike Conley, it got bad real quick. So Randall, Naz, they'll be better than they were. Ant-Man as well, than they were in game 2, where no one could hit a shot. I also just kind of think the Spurs are better to a pretty terrifying degree. So I might take the Spurs minus 4.5 in this one just to rest back home court advantage. So I'm going to go the Spurs. Then we get to Sunday, 5 a.m. Sunday, brutal. Detroit at Cleveland. The Cavs are 4.5-point favorites at home for this one. And this is kind of what I was hitting on before. Like, I think if they can match it defensively with the Pistons, I think this might be the one where the Detroit offense maybe sputters a bit and Cleveland drag themselves into the series. I'm actually going to take the Cavs minus 4.5 on their home court. I think you get a big Strus game. I think we get a little bit more, especially Mobley was shit today. So I think we get a little bit more Mobley. Donnie Mitchell and Harden don't stink it up at home. They get a nice settling win. And it's not absolute panic stations just yet for Cleveland. If they do lose, yes, it's panic stations. Then at 10:30 on Sunday. So this is a great way for Mother's Day. Remember, Sunday, Mother's Day. If you haven't gotten shit sorted, this is your mate Jim telling you fucking sort that out. I already organised flowers for old mate and my mum. So I'm ahead of the curve. The squid came home with like his, what do they call it? A gratitude stool for mothers or carers. And it's like, yeah, that's fine. What did you get? And he's like, oh, this. I'm like, that's pretty bloody good, actually. Good job, pal. So Mother's Day, they get to watch Detroit at Cleveland at 5 a.m. and then OKC at the Lakers. So OKC are 8.5-point favorites in LA. And I feel, for me, again, I might take the Lakers plus 8.5. I think at home they can keep this close, but they still get a heartbreaking loss. Because I think we'll get a real big turn on the refs. Adam Silver will be like, we desperately need LeBron to be still in the playoffs in more than 3 days' time. I need my refs to figure this out. So expect a lot of calls for the Lakers, I think. They keep it close, but I still think they lose. So there you go. All right. And there's the picks for the weekend. And that is it for another week of NBA Straya. So we're going to pop back on. I reckon we'll do Sunday night. So we can wrap up those 4 game threes and set you up for Monday's 5:30 a.m. and 9:30 a.m. games. So we'll try to do a Sunday arbo. Wrap all that up for you. And in the meantime, hey, 1,400 episodes. As I said at the top, it's, I don't know if I've done 1,400 of anything. Ever. I don't know, it's just, I continue to love doing this, and like the support and appreciation from folks is awesome. And like, obviously the last couple of weeks have been pretty fucking rough. Losing our very, very, very beloved mate was a real kick in the guts. And like everybody who reached out and, you know, just didn't matter. Like, just a few kind words, just saying g'day, checking in on me was fucking great. So that's the reason I persist with this. I just fucking love doing it. I love you guys out there listening, and love just talking basketball. Like, there's just no shit involved with NBA Straya. It's the coolest part about it, right? Like, we turn on the mics, we talk some shit, we have a good time, we fuck off. There's no airs, there's no ego. It's just what we do. So, love you guts. Thanks for 1,400 episodes. I'm going to go smash a bunch of tins at the pub with the fam, as we always do here on NBA Straya when we hit a milestone. So it's going to be good. Either way, if you haven't subscribed, that's fucking weird. But even if you can just get your partner's phone and subscribe them to the show, leave a comment on YouTube, jump on the YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube, do all that sort of shit. It'd be much appreciated. You can also get around Footy Unfiltered, our new AFL show, which is really fun. Jim does Supercoach NFL Australia as well. You can buy me a coffee. that'd be much appreciated as well for 1,400 episodes. Buymeacoffee.com/NBA Straya. If you want to just join the Dead Set Legends Club, that's how you do it. You get exclusive content every month as well. That's our Patreon. Always just make sure you subscribe, comment, like, love, all that sort of shit. Jump on there. If you can do me a favor and rate and review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or whatever. If you haven't done that, that'd be much appreciated as well. But big thanks always go to From Oslo, the legends who have soundtracked every single episode of NBA Straya, as well as House Hats, Joshua De Laurentiis, Fascinator, Goldmines, Ramshackle Army, who are playing this Saturday at the Bendigo Hotel in Collingwood. I'll be there before and after I go to Deftones. So it's going to be a big one. I'm in so much trouble for Mother's Day already. It's like, Jim, how hungover are you? It's like, yeah, very. Yeah, it's not going to be great. Anyway, the other band, so yeah, they're playing Scarfighter 2. The Porkers are playing that. The Kitty Hawks, who are awesome. Ramshackle Army, they'll be there. Come say g'day. Iowa, Section I, Green, and Dozers, they're the other bands you might hear on NBA Straya. Go support them. Streaming platforms, their band camps, whatever. NBA Straya supports Australian bands. So should you. We're just going to chuck an old-timey classic Cooking with Bainesy on the end of this one for you on the audio. And did we just lose some music? What just happened then? Did it run out? That was weird. I don't think we've ever gone through an outro where the music has run out. 1,400 episodes and we're still setting new benchmarks of shithousery. Anyway, we'll throw the Cooking with Bainesy on the end of this one. And that's it. Thank you so very much to all of you for listening. Love all your guts. And yeah, someone tell Jock Landau to come on the show. That'd be good. I will get Chris Anstey to jump on the show at some point as well. I just got to get myself self-organised and hit him up. Because hanging out with him last night and just talking a bunch of shit whilst watching the games was awesome. But yeah, good times. All right, 1,400 episodes. It's been awesome. Fun week this week. See you on Sunday. There's NBA Straya saying, look after yourselves, would you? Hug your mates. And later, hosen. 1,400 bloody episodes. Oh, see you. Go get on the beers.